Here is the 2024 Audi SQ8 in blue over gray interior. We get a light refresh on the exterior, no increase in performance, and if you're thinking, should I go all the way up to the RSQ8? They haven't changed the configuration for the exterior yet, only on the Q8 and the SQ8. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and you're going to lose 91 horsepower and 22 pound-feet of torque when you go to the SQ8 opposed to the RSQ8. I'm going to go over some pros and cons, the problem that I have, and comparable rivals. Starting in the front, the Matrix style LED headlights and daytime runnings, which comes standard now on the SQ8. Black optic package is going to blacken out the new single frame grille and the lower air pocket with front and rear parking sensors and a 360-degree reverse camera. Going against BMW, the X6 M60i. This is going to be faster, even though it has a little bit less horsepower, but it's going to have more torque. Going against Mercedes, that's going to be a little bit less in price, but then the 0 to 60 to this is going to be nearly a second quicker, and that's because of what's housed underneath this hood, which is a 4.0 liter TFSI twin turbo V8 producing 500 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Reaching 60, Audi is quoting at 4 seconds. 23-inch wheels, this is a new wheel design. Those red brake calipers, that's because we have the S Sport package. That's giving us 6 pistons in the front. That's also going to give us the active roll stabilization and the Sport rear differential, achieving 15 mpgs for the city, 19 mpgs for the highway. Why would you tick the box for the SQ8 over the RSQ8? Well, this is a detuned RSQ8, which the RSQ8 is detuned once by the Lamborghini Urus, which gets a top speed at up to 189 miles per hour. That's 1 mile per hour slower than the Urus. So when you're thinking, should I upgrade $30,000, that's why this is a sweet spot, because your 0 to 60 is only 0.3 seconds slower, and that's what Audi's quoting. I'm sure you could get this under 3 seconds. And comparing this against the base Q8, 335 horsepower, 5.5 0 to 60. It's going to be about $20,000 less, but once you start going up into the S or the RS family, you're looking for performance. Compared against Porsche, another savings is going to trickle in to $10,000 to near $30,000. That's why the SQ8 is the sweet spot in performance with new OLED tail lights. The lower gets aggressive with a reworked diffuser, quad exhaust tips, towing up to 7,700 pounds. So for the day in and day out use, you're taken care of. You could tow a pretty decent sized boat with this, and you're taking this type of vehicle on the track for performance that can beat everybody in its class. Kick. We're gonna just do the power lift gate. It does work. It's gonna sit up high because of the design of the vehicle, but there is a twist, which I'll show you in a second. Removing the privacy cover so you can see the LED interior lights. It should say SQ8 because this is what it is. You got a storage nook, another storage nook, 12 volt. Here's the twist that's next to the bag holder. Electronically, you can adjust the rear to make it easier for the load. And now you don't have any issues, and you have the scuff area here so you don't scratch the bumper. Unfortunately, to fold the rear seats, you have to go into the back to fold it down at a 60-40 split or a 40-20-40 split. This is going to maximize cargo to 60.7 cubic feet of storage, but enough specs about the cargo. We need to go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. One con off the bat, no soft closed doors is standard. I do like the Audi SQ8 TFSI Quattro. 18-way power seat adjustment with the Volcana leather diamond stitch with the S badging. Heated and ventilated. The ventilated comes with the executive package. The heated rear seats also will come with that, along with the acoustic pano moonroof. Memory for the driver. Check this feature out. You can also turn that up so you can hear it a little bit more so. Headroom. and leg room. The SQ8 received the ambient lighting. It's going to have a total of 64 different colors found throughout, and it's going to be right around here. Standard carbon inlays and the Quattro badging in the gloss black with 2 infotainment screens. The dashboard layout is going to be a little bit more simplified with the auto-dimming rear view mirror. All the lights in the interior are LED, and you just touch them. The top screen is a 10.1 MMI, which has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Here is the quick wedges. The big con that I always have with the Audis, and a lot of the automotive industry is doing this. Click into vehicle, and for the additional 6-way power seat adjustment, you have to do so here, and then you got to click another button in order to do the cushion extensions. If you slide over here, this would normally be the setting for the massage seats, but this is for the ventilated and heated front seats because we don't have the massage seat in this vehicle. Put it into reverse, we got a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory. It expands out in the front and the rear. Click here, and this expands out, so you have a lot of different camera angles to make reversing nothing but an easy maneuver. 3D view, you can go all around the vehicle so you can see any obstructions. The lower is an 8.8 inch that's derived for the climate control and the driver mode select. And when you click onto the driver mode select here, you have an individual, which you can tailor this to make it as sport derived, and you can also quiet the engine if you don't want to wake up the neighbors. Gloss black, the carbon inlays, and the ambient lighting will surround here, and the key fob for the SQ8. And you also have a little area you could put it with the 12 volt. This slides back, slides up, so it covers up this little storage Audi phone box, which will expand your signal and obviously charge up your phone with 2 USB ports, leather wrap steering wheel. It's perforated on the sides with the S badging. Paddle shifts are going to be plastic, unfortunately, and the gauge cluster has a 12.3 Audi virtual cockpit that can go through an array of information for the driver, including turn-by-turn navigation. You can expand it, you can zoom out, you can zoom in. The dashboard and the door panels configure in together. You got a little storage pocket here for the driver. Carbon inlays is going to be yet again found here. You have upgrades to make soft materials here and to make this soft. This is more of the, you're going to save some money without having those upgrades. One touch up and down for the windows. It is dual pane windows for the front and the rear, and edgeless window design with a medium-sized storage pocket and a beverage holder carved out. I got to put this down. Take 2. Headroom and leg room. Not going to have any issues with leg room. You can move these up to maximize cargo capacity, and still at 6'3", no issues. You can also recline these back, unfortunately, just a touch, but when you have this much horsepower and torque, a touch is better than nothing. Storage behind both of the front seats with a net, dual climate control settings, heated rear seats, cup holders in the center with an armrest, and the door is going to have the power sunshades, air vent on the side, and a closed hanger with the carbon inlays. One touch up and down for the windows, and a cigarette ashtray for the back. It's going to be a little bit more sporty with about the same size storage pocket as the front, sliding into the center. The floor is not flat, and this here kind of lifts up, so it does make it a little bit more where you're sitting this way inwards, but sharing feet, butt, leg, and shoulder space is not going to be too much of an issue. But headroom, you have to kind of sit back like this in order to make it work because of the way it's carved out in the back, making leg space or making knee space a little bit more tight depending on the front occupants. 500 horsepower, 568 pound-feet of torque is insane what comes out of the powertrain of the SQ8. It's a little bit long, but it's not necessarily something that's difficult because you got a lot of power underneath this, and 0 to 60 at 4 seconds is what Audi is quoting. She's quick, very, very quiet, and I kind of wish I heard the exhaust note filter in a little bit more so, because I am buying something with this much horsepower, and yet I can really only hear it if I'm in dynamic mode. If I switch it into comfort, can't hear nothing at all. 23-inch wheels, which is a lot larger. You don't feel that much of the imperfections. Air suspension, it's going to be smooth. It can be boaty if you are taking some hard maneuvers or doing some corners or bends, but I like the clearance, and it's going to adjust to be a little bit more soft when you get into comfort, a little bit more aggressive when you get to dynamics. That's going to take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros before we get into performance is all the bang for your buck that you're getting. 500 horsepower, detuned ×2 Lamborghini Urus engine. Interior, soft materials. The con, you do have to spend a lot of upgrades in order to get more soft materials. Standard carbon inlays. And how quiet the drive is. We're going to change it into dynamics now so we can see the performance as soon as this light turns green. Red light, green light, here we go. It's quick, but I'm digging how quiet the vehicle is because for an everyday drive, it ticks the box. Turn radius is going to be about 2 lanes. Let's rock and roll. And there we go. Getting it to push you back, feeling the torque in the performance, being one of the best in class with what you're getting overall as a package. When you're looking at comparable rivals, this is going to be a little bit better, even though it's going to have a little bit less horsepower because the 0 to 60 is going to be faster. This almost is at the same speed as an X6M competition, and that price starts near 120 grand. Here, you're under $100,000. Now, once you start featuring it up, like I was saying, that becomes a con, because then you are starting to push yourself near an RSQ8 base price, in which that vehicle is 1 mile per hour slower than a Lamborghini Urus. But on the flip side to that, you're not going to get the refresh. Only the Q8 and SQ8 gets the refresh for the front and the rear, so it's going to look a little bit more dynamic. We do lose the SQ8 badging in the front, which I kind of wish we still had that because it looks so similar to a Q8. The rear diffuser looks a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more wide for the profile stance. Another con though is this MMI infotainment screen for the top and bottom. You have to use it for your seat settings if you want to bolster them on the side or to extend the cushion extensions. Also, if you option massage seats, you'll have to go in there. Now, you do have a button, so that does help there. However, because I have to do so much configuration on the screen, I'm continuously taking my eyes off the road, making it a little bit more complex than it needs to be. Should be a little bit more cleaned up. They really have emphasized a lot of Bentley styling without the buttons, making it more digital. Put it back in dynamics, show this Mustang what we got. I guess he thought we were just a regular Audi. And that's why it would be nice to have those badges, but it gives you that stealth look because nobody knows what kind of vehicle this is. The seat comfort is going to be more smooth here. It's going to be very similar to the Mercedes, and the same thing with the suspension. This is going to be one of the best in class because BMW is going to be a lot more firm. Comparing it against Porsche, I mean, it's going to be similar in the interior elements, but you're not going to have as much configuration because of this screen setup the way they do it with Audi. Thinking package-wise, it's hard to say this is not the best in class for performance, being the sweet spot for the Q. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Audi Tampa for giving us this 2024 Audi SQ8 for our car review.